Welcome back to Just 2 Minutes, Just a Mishnah. This Mishnah is the Nishmas Freda Lebasracha and the Schus of Edi Yitzchak ben Gila and their first Basuva. So Masechas Bava basra Perak Aleph Mishnah Hey Mishnah Vav. Kaifin Aris Lefnes Beisha Ar V'Das Lachatzer. So you're allowed to force if two partners have a courtyard together. So each one can force the other one to build a door in like the fence, and also to build like a little hut for a guard to stay in during the day, and the door to lock it at night. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says not all courtyards need to have like a guard booth. So why? Because if it doesn't look out onto public properties, then they don't need it. If someone lives in a city, so you can force any member of the city to help build walls and different like fortifications for the city. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says that not all cities need all these fortifications, only if it's on the border of the country. How long do you have to be in the city to be considered a citizen? 12 months. But as soon if you buy a house, so even if you haven't lived in it yet, you're automatically considered a resident, citizen. If we have a courtyard being divided up between two people, you have to have at least 4 amos, which is 4 cubits. Sorry, for each person. And you can't divide up a field until each one has 9 kav. Rabbi Yehuda says that each one has to have 9 halves, meaning 4.5 kav each. And you can't divide up a garden until each one has half a kav of space. Rabbi Kiva says a beis driva, which is half a kav, meaning so a quarter of a kav. And you can't. And V'laisa Traklin, which is a mansion. V'laisa Moram, which is a tower. V'laisa Shovach, which is like a pigeon or bird house. V'laisa Talis, and not like a piece of clothing. V'laisa Merchat, or a bathhouse. V'laisa Beis Abad, or an olive press. Achehei behind Kedei Lazeh. You can't divide it up unless there's enough of it to be considered to have the name of, for instance, an olive press. It has to be big enough to be considered an olive press. The rule is, if it's big enough for it to be considered an olive press, for instance, so then you can divide it up. If there isn't enough to do that, so then you don't divide it. This is only in the case where only one of them wants to divide it up, meaning they bought it and they don't want to divide it, and one of them doesn't want to divide it. If they both agree, as if they agree to divide it up with in a small amount in these measurements, so then they can. And if you have, let's say, a Sefer Torah, so obviously in those days, all of their Sfarim, all of their books were in scrolls. So if they would have a Tanakh scroll, which would be all of Tanakh in one scroll, and they want to divide it up, so even if both of them agree to split it, they're not allowed to. And those Mishnayos.